Hi, it's 1975 and welcome to Elite Dangerous on the Xbox One, and welcome to Mars. I was in Seoul doing some sightseeing, just generally poodling around. I don't very often get out to Seoul. I've had the permit for a long time, but I just don't like going into Federation space too often, and I don't really run that many missions out that direction. I'm more likely to be found around Jameson Memorial and my home system than I am anywhere near Federation space. But I thought there's something interesting I've always meant to have a look at, and while I was in Seoul I thought, you know what, I will take a look at the two Mars moons, which is where the video game Doom, the original Doom, was set. And also there's a whack off great big monolith on one of those moons, so I thought I'll go and have a look at the monolith. I'll show you some footage from NASA of this monolith. It's quite creepy. That is on the surface of this moon, you know, and it's just an interesting thing that I thought, you know, I'll go and have a look at. So I get to Seoul, as you see I'm arriving. I go into the galaxy map and I look through the detailed, you know, representation of our own solar system, and the amount of stuff on there that I never learned at school, that didn't exist when I was at school, is just phenomenal. The amount of stuff they found, like with, you know, the modernization of telescopes, Hubble, all those various improvements they've made since I was a kid, and you get all of this stuff, you know, out beyond Pluto that I'd never, you know, I don't even know half of this stuff. I never learnt this stuff when I was at school. You know, when I had an astrology book when I was a kid, this stuff just wasn't in there. But all of this stuff is in there. But interestingly, when you get further down, you'll see the Mars moons aren't there. You've got all of the Jupiter moons. You've got Io, where Arnold Rimmer from Red Dwarf was born. You know, you've got all these moons that I recognise, all of these moons and places that I recognise, all these places that I don't even recognise. But the Mars moons, which in video game terms I spent a long time traipsing around the moons of Mars on Doom, they're not on the map. They're not here. You can't see them in game, you can't land on them, they're not there at all. Now I know one of the moons has a decaying orbit, but it's not due to decay enough to crash into Mars anytime soon. That's going to happen a long time in the future. So there's no reason why these two moons shouldn't be there. I did a bit of digging on the forums and I didn't really find a satisfactory answer as to why there's no moons of Mars. So I'd be interested to find out. They are quite oddly shaped lumps of rock. They're not that good as spheroids, but I'm interested to know why they're not there, because to me they're, you know, well, in certain terms of video game terms, they're fairly famous. I mean, anyone who played Doom spent an awful lot of time traipsing around the surface of Mars. You know, the monolith that's on there. There's even a beacon that sort of talks of an alien artifact that was dug up on the surface of Mars itself. And, you know, I would like to go visit this place. I would like to go to the moons of Mars. There was some talk that they are eventually going to appear, but I don't know. I don't know the full story. If anyone does know the full story, please let me know in the comments down below or on Reddit, because I just want to know where the moons are. I never knew this was a thing. I really don't pay that much attention to, you know, maps when I go onto a solar system. I've been to Seoul so many times and I've never noticed this before. It was just a whim to go and see the monolith, and then I found the monolith didn't exist. I was quite interested and intrigued why. And I found this tourist beacon which talks of, like, you know, an alien artifact discovered on the surface of Mars. And, you know, I just wondered, anyone know why Mars moons are missing? I'd love to know. I'd love to know why, and if anyone's heard anything, please let me know. And if you weren't aware of this, I'm just letting you know on this video. But that's all for this video. It was just something I noticed in game that I wanted to bring to the attention of everyone, because I didn't know this. I've been playing the game for ages. So that's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to leave this message up long enough so you can read it, hopefully, and say that's all. Thanks very much for watching.